Thank you and good afternoon. Today's date is Friday, March 20th. The NCAAA Tournament for men's got underway yesterday. And in those games, we'll start with the games from yesterday. And in those games, in the first one, well, Siena gave all Duke could hope for, but wasn't enough. Duke was down 9-11 to start the second half, but Duke rallied back and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Carlos Boozer led him with 22 and 13 rebounds, one of the projected top 4 overall picks. Again, 71-65. Michigan, number 1, seeded, beats Howard easily, 101-80. And Houston beats Idaho easily, 78-47. The Spartans win 92-67. Illinois, number 3 seed, swipes all over Pennsylvania, 105-70. David McCormick scores 29. And for Gonzaga in Kennesaw, it was in the low-scoring game for Gonzaga, 73-64. And Nebraska finally wins an NCAA tournament game as they win 76-47. Arkansas Razorbacks beat Hawaii up pretty good, 97-78, but an upset in the first round in the NCAA tournament in the West region, as Wisconsin goes down to High Point 83-82. High Point advances. Wisconsin goes home. Vanderbilt wins 78-68. Vanderbilt moves on. Louisville wins 83-79. Louisville moves on. South Florida goes home. In overtime, and one of the biggest leads blown of all time, BCU comes all the way back from down 39-28, and by more. I know that for a fact. But they got them to overtime, and they win it 82-78. Missed free throws hurt the Tar Heels. And a big, huge blown lead. Well, that hurt them too. Texas prevails over BYU 79-71. Likeness is the difference. In this game, sometimes you can just be better than that team, and maybe you are. And maybe, yes, BYU has the best player in college basketball for as far as freshmen, probably the best player in college basketball anyways. Maybe this doesn't work out, and not every game at least. Texas wins 79-71. Texas A&M 63-50. And TCU wins over Ohio State 66-64 as they make a final bucket to hold on. And St. Louis University advances 102-70. Salou got in Deion Brown to get 18. He only averaged 11 during the regular season. And Salou will move on, and we'll highlight a couple of the local teams for Saturday's games as they move on. Salou and Michigan will play on Saturday. That's one of the teams I wanted to mention on 12:10 on CBS. Illinois will play VCU. That's at 7:50. And those were really for the two local games. Nebraska, I guess you could do that. Number 4 seed will play number 5, Vanderbilt. Those are the local sides. But today's basketball games are on Friday, and here is your first round. At 12:15 in St. Louis, Missouri, it'll be Kentucky in Santa Clara. Players to watch out for in St. Louis, Missouri: Christian Hammond and
Otagowe.
5, Texas Tech at 12:40. It'll be Prairie Johnson, the player to watch out for. He averages 20.1 points a game. 20.1 points a game. And JT Toplin. JT Toplin will not play. Christian Anderson is a player to watch out for. When JT Toplin is injured, that's going to be a problem for Texas Tech. But hopefully they can prevail against Akron for their sake. That game tips at 12:40 and 11:40 Central. And the other one tips at 12:15 and 11:15 Central, the Kentucky and Santa Clara game. Arizona and Long Island at 1:35, a 16-1. Player to watch out for Arizona that everybody will know, Brandon Burns. And player to watch out for Long Island is J.P. Fuller. That game tips at 1:35 TNT. 1:50 TBS, Wright State versus Virginia. Players to watch out for: Thesis DeReader and Michael Cooper are the players to watch out for in the Wright State and Virginia game, beginning at 1:50 on TBS. At 2:50 in St. Louis, CBS, Iowa State versus Tennessee State in a first-round game. Players to watch out for Ohio State: Milan McCormick.
Milan Momcilovic.
Him. Watch out for, and for Texas State,
Aaron and Kruma.
This game tips at 2:50 on CBS. At 3:15 on True TV,
Hofstra Pride
will play number 4 seeded Alabama. Players to watch out for in that one: Cruz Davis, averages about 20 a game, and Leon Phillipson Jr. averages 21.7 a game. That game begins at 3:15. And at 4:10, Utah State will play Villanova. Number 9 versus the number 8, San Diego, TNT. Players to watch out for: MJ Collins Jr. and Tyler Perkins. He averaged about 13.7, 4:10 is the game. At 4:25, it'll be Miami, Ohio versus Tennessee and Philadelphia. TBS, 4:25. At 6:50, Iowa versus Clemson, TNT. At 4:10, the number 9 seeded Utah Aggies will play Villanova Wildcats. Players to watch out for: MJ Collins and Perkins, the players to watch out for in those two games. In that game, that tips at 4:10. At 4:25, Peter Sutton, player to watch out for Miami of Ohio, and Tennessee is who they play. A player to watch out for is Jacoby Gillespie, one of the best players in college basketball. I mean, a very good college basketball player. He is 94th, so really good. Number 9, Iowa. At 6:50, will play Clemson. Number 8 seeded. Players to watch out for: Britton Striz and Roddy R.J. Godfield. And here's what we will do. Since we are going to finish with Missouri and Kansas, we'll skip down to the Northern Iowa St. John's game, go to UCF and UCLA, and go to Purdue and Queens. We'll finish with Missouri and Kansas on the last two games. Is what we'll do. I'll just show you how we do it. UCF and UCLA, players to watch out for: Kugel, 14.4 points a game, and Tyler Bilodeau averages 17.6. This game begins at 7:25. At 7:35, in St. Louis, Missouri, the game before Missouri, it'll be Queen University of Royals versus Purdue Boilermakers. This game tips tonight at 7:35. Players to watch out for: Nasa Maine and Braden Smith are the two players to watch out for Purdue. At 9:25, TNT, Prairie View A&M in Florida. Tip on TNT. Players to watch out for: Donate Horn, averages 20.3, and Thomas Haggs, who averages 17 a game. Tips at 9:25, TNT. Okay, so now we're going to go to the UConn game before we go to the Missouri and Kansas game. Furman will play UConn at 10 o'clock. Players to watch out for. Tyrus Reed Jr. averages 13.7 points a game. And Alex Wilkerson, who averages 17.7. Furman and UConn begin at 10 p.m. Now we'll transition to the final games of Kansas and Missouri is what we'll do. The UConn and Furman game begin at 10. Let's start with the Missouri and Kansas game. The Kansas Jayhawks will play California Baptist. Players to watch out for Kansas. Trey White. Darian Peterson, probably the second overall draft pick, now dropped from number 1 after not playing as much as he probably should have during the regular season. See, what happens when you don't play, you don't get what you want. Trey White, player to watch out for. And Melvin Council. Those are the 3 Jayhawks to watch out for. And for California Baptist, Demonic Daniels averages 23.2 a game. Good for 5th in the country. So he'll be a tough player for KU to deal with. 9:45 is a game. If KU wins, they will play the winner of St. John's in Northern Iowa tonight that begins at 7:10. Now we're on to the University of Missouri and the University of Miami. The University of Miami. Players to watch out for. Malik Reyna. Jaden Stone. Burns can hit the 3 if he's out there. And so can Trent Pierce. This game begins at 10:10, True TV. Miami is 54.7%, 54.8 chances to win. Missouri is 45.2. And Miami is favored by 2.5. Some books have 1.5, but generally a close game. This game is the final game and begins in St. Louis on True TV at 10:10. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.